Hey guys, it's Robyn, your independent Scentsy consultant. Welcome back and welcome if you're new. Today I have got my best of the bars for you for October. So we are heading into October, and this is the video where I give you suggestions on things that you might want to melt throughout the month of October that I think would be very seasonally appropriate in most areas. In this video is only bars that are currently available. So anything I talk about in this video, you can purchase at this time. One of them's coming up this month. One of them is a brick, a holiday brick. It will be available October 14th, but everything else is currently available as I'm filming this. Now, in what I've been warming videos, I go through everything I've been melting and let you know what I've been melting. But sometimes in those videos, it's kind of half current, half retired, half discontinued. So in this video, it's all stuff that is currently available. So first we'll go through 10 or so catalog bars that are going to be available in the fall winter catalog throughout the entire season until the end of February. And then we'll go through a few honorable mention items that are limited time offers, meaning they're not going to be available for the whole season. They are temporary special items, but I think they would be very seasonally appropriate for October. Before we jump into that, I do want to just say a quick thank you. At the end of September, I was promoted to director within Scentsy, which is kind of like the leadership tiers of Scentsy. So that was a super big milestone in my little Scentsy career here. So thank you so much for all of you for watching my videos and ordering from me and just supporting my channel and my little side hustle here. So thank you so much, and I really, really appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna jump right in now to the catalog bars that I think are best for October. Now, we have a pretty fall-leaning bunch here. I think in most places, this is prime warming season for fall bars. So in my neck of the woods, we're probably gonna get snow this month. It typically snows in October sometime where I live, but I'm not going into holiday just yet. We are going hard into fall right now. So the first one is Caramel Apple Craze. This is in the catalog. This is a caramel apple scent. It is simple and wonderful. It's a nice buttery rich caramel and a nice kind of balanced, juicy, crisp apple. It's not a too sour of an apple. It's not too sweet of an apple, but it is a fresh apple, not a baked apple. So we have a crisp, buttery caramel apple scent. This one is very, very good. This one I do in my open layout, and it does all right. I think if you had the very largest of open layouts, it might struggle. But in my open layout or in any large room, I think it's gonna do okay. So this one's about a medium strength and a average duration. Very, very good bar. The next one we have here is another fall catalog bar. This was actually in the Harvest collection last year, and then they brought it to catalog this year. This is called Forever Fall. And this one is like brown sugar and pumpkin. And a little bit of spice, just a tiny bit. This is a little bit of a squashier pumpkin. It's squashy, it's baked, it's got that gooey brown sugar. This one is very homey and it is very foodie. So if you don't tend to like the foodie end of bakery, this one might be one to skip for you. But if you are okay with a slightly squashy pumpkin with a lot of sweetness and butteriness to it, Forever Fall is a great one. And the one thing I had for this pile, but I couldn't find my bar of it to show you, is White Pumpkin and Driftwood. White Pumpkin and Driftwood is another fall winter catalog bar that was also in the Harvest collection with this bar last fall. Those two together, if you mix White Pumpkin and Driftwood 1-to-1 in the same warmer as Forever Fall, it's fantastic. Strongly recommend trying that. So if you're going to get Forever Fall, I would also suggest you grab a bar of White Pumpkin and Driftwood to go with it and try them mixed because they are fantastic mixed. So Forever Fall, really good one. I would say this is, again, a good solid medium, and I think you could do this in most open layouts. This is, again, probably an average strength, average duration, but I would say stronger on the end of average strength. Very, very good. So Forever Fall. The next one we have here, I have a either or bar. This one is going to be your sweet candy corn type scent for the season. Now we have two options here. One is a catalog bar called Gimme Candy. This first started out its life with Scentsy as a scent of the month a couple years ago. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then they brought it to the catalog. And this is a sweet buttercream frosting, caramel corn, honey. It is tooth-achingly sweet. It's so sweet, so lovely. If you like caramel scents, buttercream frosting scents, this is like candy corn. It smells like candy corn. If you hate candy corn, you're not gonna like this. If you like those very, very sweet scents, this is a top-notch one. This is also wildly strong and very long-lasting. So it's a very good performer. Gimme Candy. And this one's fabulous on its own or as a mixer with just about anything. So this one actually mixes really well with another one I'm going to talk about here in a minute, Around the Campfire. Around the Campfire is a smoky bar, and some folks are a little bit afraid of it for that reason, but if you mix it 1-to-1 with Gimme Candy, try it that way because it's fantastic. So Gimme Candy, strongly recommend picking up a bar of this to have on hand. The other one, so this one is not a catalog bar. This one is a scent of the month for September, and it is Spooky But Sweet. Now this one is a little bit like Gimme Candy, but it has more spice. It has some pumpkin, and it's got just a little bit more richness and depth to it than Gimme Candy. Gimme Candy is a very, very sweet, just unadulterated sweet scent. This one has some spice in the background. It's got some pumpkin. It's got some other stuff going on, but it does still have that very sweet candy corn type note to it as well. So this one also, if you're not as into the very sweet scents, I would pick Spooky But Sweet instead. If you like those really, really, really fun sweet scents, I would go with Gimme Candy. But I would say either one of these, pick one of them. If you really like sweet scents, get both. But my pick, if I had to pick one, would be Gimme Candy. The next one we have here is Dutch Apple Bread. This is another bakery category scent in the catalog. And this, again, was a Harvest Collection bar last fall. Now this one is a kind of more, this one is not as sweet as you would think. This is like a apple pie filling. You don't get the crust. It is an apple pie filling. And it's got just this bit of a savory warmth to it. It's really nice. And it's not as sweet as you would think it would be. It's gently spiced without being too spicy. It's just this nice apple pie filling. Now, I personally prefer more bakery to my bakery scents, but if you're not a bakery fan, I would say get yourself some Dutch Apple Bread, because this one is not going to be too sweet for most people, I don't think. This one, compared to something like baked apple pie, this one is a little bit deeper and richer, I would say. I prefer Dutch Apple Bread to baked apple pie myself. I like to mix this one myself. I like to mix this with a very sweet bakery, either a streusel topping type scent or apple and oats. I like to mix this with other things, but on its own, it is really lovely as well. And this one I would say is open layout worthy for most homes also. So Dutch Apple Bread is a good one. The next one we have here is Scary Good. And this one is, again, a scent of the month from years ago that made it to the catalog. This one is pumpkin puree, toasted butterscotch, cinnamon, and vanilla. And this one has just a hint of some like smokiness in it as well. And I think that's the toasted butterscotch. Yeah. This one is pumpkin spice and like a smoky butterscotch with a bit of, that spice is definitely there. I think you do have to be okay with some spice with this one. And that is Scary Good. And compared to something like Spooky But Sweet, these two are fairly similar. I would say you could get away with just getting one out of Spooky But Sweet and Scary Good. Again, Spooky But Sweet is limited time offer. This one's in the catalog till end of February. So there's your timeline for those. Yeah, it's basically, if I had to say what this is, Spooky But Sweet is if you mixed Gimme Candy and Scary Good, is what you'd come up with Spooky But Sweet. But if you get these separately, you get the pumpkin spice smokiness and the sweet one separately. So if it were me, I would get the two separate bars and then mix them if I want to, and also have them separate if I want to. So that's what I would do personally. But I do really, really enjoy Spooky But Sweet as well. And if you just want to buy one bar and kind of get the best of both worlds, then I would go with Spooky But Sweet. But for me, these three are kind of in like the same family. We have Spooky But Sweet, Gimme Candy, and Scary Good. Very much the same family. And I would think any one of those is going to mix very well with Around the Campfire, which is the next bar we're talking about. This is a catalog bar, going to be available all season. This has almost like a cedarwood note. It has some smokiness, and it has a really, really rich vanilla. But it's not like a sweet vanilla, and it's not a caramely vanilla either. It is just rich and smoky and sweet and sophisticated and deep and lovely. It is so gorgeous. Now, the trick with Around the Campfire, to me, is to age it. So when you get this bar initially, it tends to be quite smoky, very much like wood smoke, like campfire smoke when it's brand new. If you let this sit for 6 to 12 months, this one has been sitting for over a year, the vanilla and the sweetness really just, it melds and it meshes, and it just richens up, and it gets so beautiful. I always buy a bar of this in the spring to just put in my drawer and save it till next fall, because this one really shines with some age. So if you grab a bar now, I would say also grab a bar of one of the three I just showed you, Gimme Candy, Spooky But Sweet, or Scary Good, to mix with it now. And then put the rest of your bar away until next fall and pull it out again and then try it on its own, because this one is absolutely gorgeous. So around the campfire, again, it's one that people are scared of, and I get it. It is quite smoky when it's brand new, but play with it, mix with it, and then age it until next year. The next one we have here is a brand new scent this season. This is Hay Rides in the Fall Winter catalog. Now this one has apples, fresh hay. I think there's some air in here. This one is crisp. It's got some sweet apple. You do get the grassiness of the hay, and it is a little bit earthy, but it's not like a deep, dirty earthy. It is clean earthy, which is really, really nice. So yeah, this one is very beautiful. This one smells kind of Thanksgiving-y. This would have been very appropriate in September as well. But I think in most areas, this is going to be really nice for right now in October. Yeah, so Hay Rides is a good one. This is about a medium strength in my home, average duration, really, really nice. And then this one is a classic. I couldn't not put this in October. This is Cider Mill. This is in the catalog. It's been around a while. This is apple, pumpkin, and spice, which sounds very, very basic. But this is just the prettiest apple cider. I don't really smell pumpkin here. It's like gentle apple cider, and it's just the perfect fall scent. I think almost everybody would like this. If you're gonna get one bar of that I talk about today, make it be Cider Mill. This is one that I think almost everyone's going to like. I don't think I've ever come across anyone that didn't like this bar. I mean, I'm sure they exist, but I just haven't heard of anyone not loving Cider Mill. It's just, I think it's fairly widely appealing. It's a good bet if you're going to give a gift to someone. I think Cider Mill would be a good gift bar because I think most people would enjoy this scent. It's got a small amount of spice, but not too much. So if people are spice averse, I think they're going to be okay. Most people like apple cider type scents, so that's a safe bet. So Cider Mill, very nice. This is a very average performer. Average strength, average duration, very, very average. In my home, it does do okay in the open layout, and I love Cider Mill. One of my absolute top favorite fall bars. Then we have another one that is brand new this season. This is my favorite of the 10 new releases this season. This is Leaves and Lavender, and this one is Leaves and Lavender. And this is gorgeous. There is almost a base of like an apple cider note here. I've heard some folks say that, and I would definitely agree. It's got clove in it as well, but you don't really smell clove. There is a gentle spice here, and I think it's like the cider spice. Now this smells a lot like Bath & Body Works Leaves Candle, which they didn't bring back this year. So we have a Scentsy version this year. Now the Leaves from Bath & Body Works does have apple cider in the notes, and that is, I think, where we're getting apple cider in here, because I do smell like a cider note. And it's gorgeous. The lavender here, if you don't like lavender, I would give this a try anyways. The lavender is very minimal here, and this one warms beautifully. It's a longer than average duration bar and a good solid medium, if not better than medium strength. It's very, very good. Now this one does tend to be a love or hate it scent. I think most people are enjoying this one, myself included, but I have heard several people say they don't care for this one. So I think it depends. And I think if you don't like Bath & Body Works Leaves, you're not gonna like this, because they are very similar. So yeah, I love this one. This is going to be a club bar for me at the end of the season. This one is a very good performer in my home. It lasts a good 2 days in the bedrooms. It's better than medium strength. And I would do this in my open layout. So this one is a good performer, and I think if you like the scent, you're going to be a happy camper. So again, very soft on the lavender, and I would say it's a sweeter lavender. And then you have that cider and that kind of leaf scent. Now, if you really, really, really hate that kind of, not sharp, but that kind of, and not really musty either, but that dry leaf note. If you don't like that dried leaf note, you might struggle with this one. If you like that dry leaf scent, I think you're gonna really like Leaves and Lavender. The next one we have here is Brown Butter Pumpkin. This is another new release this season in the Fall Winter catalog. This is gorgeous. This is like butter, brown sugar, and pumpkin. This has almost no spice, so if you're a person who likes pumpkin but you don't like spice, I would point you to Brown Butter Pumpkin. if you don't care for buttery type scents, there's a little bit of butter here. It's not as buttery as something like Forever Fall. I would say Forever Fall has more of a butter note to it. This is more just sweet, soft pumpkin. This is very approachable and very people-pleasing, I think. I think, again, brown butter pumpkin is one that most people would enjoy as long as you're okay with pumpkin scents. It's very traditional, very classic, but not spice heavy at all. If there's any spice here at all, it's minimal, and I really don't get any here. Yeah, no, I don't smell spice. That is just very nice. It's a sweet, classic pumpkin scent. Really, really nice. This one is on the softer side, in my home at least. I've heard mixed reviews on performance with this. Some people get great performance from brown butter pumpkin. Other folks are like myself, where they just find they go nose blind to it, or it just doesn't quite build in the space the way you might want. So this one is one that I'm going to play with a bit more, but brown butter pumpkin, gorgeous scent. And I would say if you're worried about performance, just stick it in smaller spaces or double your wax. So we went over 10 bars this time, and now we have a few honorable mentions as well. Now this honorable mention is a sneaky one because this is actually a catalog bar as well, but I'm putting it in the honorable mentions because it's also part of the Gordy Goodness collection. Now the Gordy Goodness collection is still available. It is sold out right now on the website, but you can still add it to your club, I believe. So Pumpkin Roll is in the fall winter catalog. You can get this even after Gordy Goodness sells out, but Pumpkin Roll is also in the Gordy Goodness collection. This is like brown sugar, walnuts, yellow cake, pumpkin deliciousness. This is gooey pumpkin bakery. It's got gentle cinnamon sugar here is the spice. There's nothing crazy with spice going on here. It's a gentle cinnamon sugar. You get brown sugar. It's not overly buttery. If you don't care for buttery scents, Pumpkin Roll isn't particularly buttery. It is more of a cakey type scent. It's like a pumpkin spice cake. It's gorgeous. You gotta try some Pumpkin Roll. This one is a good one. If you wanted just classic pumpkin bakery, Pumpkin Roll is the one. That is the one. I think, again, almost everyone's gonna like that unless you really dislike bakery. Pumpkin Roll is gonna be a winner for you. The next ones I have here are honorable mentions as well, because these are not gonna be available forever. So the first one is gonna be available October 14th. This is a holiday brick. It comes in this great big package here. So this is a regular bar compared to the bricks. So one of these is about 5 of these. It's a lot of wax. So you can get these. They're going to be, I think, $34 Canadian or $24 US. They're going to be two for $40 in the US or 2 for $53 in Canada. So that is the bricks. They're going to be 5 different scents. This one that I'm mentioning for October is going to be salted caramel cider. This one is probably my favorite of the bricks, and this one is perfect for right now. This one is lovely. It is, oh my gosh, it's so good. This is salted caramel, and compared to something like, let me dig out caramel apple craze here and compare it. Okay, here's caramel apple craze that's in the catalog. Here is salted caramel cider, the holiday brick. They're quite different. Salted caramel cider is much heavier on the caramel. This is much heavier on the apple. This does have apple too, but it's much more that salted caramel, and you do smell the salt here. It's beautiful, it's rich, it's decadent. It is so good. So salted caramel cider, this is gonna be a club scent for me. This is one I would melt most of the year, but especially in September, October. If you live in a place where October is kind of peak fall, I would say you need to get yourself some salted caramel cider. So that is one of the holiday bricks coming out October 14th. And again, pricing is right here below, but I believe they are 34 Canadian, 24 US. I'll put that here though, to make sure that's right. The next one I wanted to mention, and this one again is sold out on the website, but you can still add it to club, I believe. This one is Hollow Harvest, which was available in the Gordy Goodness collection. This one screams October. When I first smelled this, I just thought October. This is a little bit earthier, a little darker, very complex, very woodsy, and just kind of dark and deep and mysterious. This has some sweetness to it. I would say there's a vanilla base, but there's also some woodsy tones, maybe a hint of patchouli. It is deep and dark and earthy and lovely. So this one again, I really like to mix this one myself with Pumpkin Roll. So this comes with Gordy Goodness as well, or you can get it separately. But these two together in the same warmer are fantastic. If Hollow Harvest is just a little bit earthy for you, try mixing it with a bakery scent, and I recommend pumpkin roll. But any bakery scent would do, I think. Gimme candy, whatever you have on hand. But Hollow Harvest gets an honorable mention for October because that one is fantastic. The other one that I think should get an honorable mention for October is in the Harvest collection, and this is Cinnamon Woods. So this one is a woodsy, roasty, toasty type scent. Again, it has some sweetness to it. I would say maybe some caramel. It's not overly spicy. For having cinnamon in the name, there's a very soft spice here, but not overpowering. It is roasty toasty. This reminds me a lot of a holiday brick we had a few years ago called Caramel Chestnut. This is very much like caramel chestnut without the caramel. It's beautiful. It's rich and warm, kind of smells like embers without being smoky. It's not smoky at all, but there is like a warm, hot ember scent. But it's not dry either. Sometimes when you get that ember scent, it can be kind of spicy and dry. This has a very gentle spice and it's not dry. This is rich and smooth and just, oh, it's very, very good. So Cinnamon Woods, despite having cinnamon and woods in the name, I get very little cinnamon and a little bit of woods, but I wouldn't say the woods are dry or cedar woodish or anything like that. This is just a roasty, toasty, fire burning in the room in the fireplace type scent. It's very cozy and comforting and perfect for October cool evenings. So that is what I've got for recommendations for October. I would love to know in the comments below what your favorite things to melt in October are. So check out the comments below, see what other people like to warm and get some ideas as well, because I can give you all the ideas in the world, but other people have different things that they like to melt depending on where they live or what they like to smell. These are just my recommendations for October, but put yours in the comments below so we can all share as well. Other than that, happy October and hope you have a great month. We'll talk to you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.